The world's most noisy stadium, it's really unbelievable. The world's first from Samsung, it looks like a UFO. The people here are they're incredibly proud of it. Wow, this is cool. Who designed this? You know, like Mokdong in our country, and Jamsil too, there's something I really wish would change. Hello Watson viewers. In this episode about the World Cup Stadium, let's talk about it. From June through to July, for about 40 days, watch all the soccer you want because the endless soccer season is here. It's a quadrennial event, but this time it's different, special. It's called the North and Central America World Cup. It's hosted by the United States, Canada, and Mexico across 16 cities in these three nations. And compared to previous World Cups, there are many more participating countries, so there will be more matches. So you'll be able to enjoy even more World Cup matches this season. So right now, in this episode, let's take a look at all 16 stadiums from an architectural perspective. That's what I'd like to do today. First of all, the host cities in the United States are Atlanta, Boston, Dallas, Houston, Kansas City, Los Angeles, Miami, New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, Seattle, and then San Francisco Bay. That's the list. First up is the Atlanta Stadium. It has a capacity of 75,000 people. It was designed by AT&T. Wow, it's overwhelming. Atlanta is the home of Coca-Cola, isn't it? Isn't this Coke's home headquartered in Atlanta? And I know it's a very hot and humid area. The stadium's key feature is that the roof can fully open. It's designed like a camera aperture, so the roof rotates and stays closed and then opens up wide. It's a feature, so in the center, like the Pantheon, light falls down from above. It's a really cool stadium like that. And even when it's closed, on the sides, among the slightly irregular surfaces, see those glass panels? Through there, some light seeps in, so that's another feature. Currently, it seems that Mercedes-Benz is the sponsor. Not long ago, in Japan, was it the Nippon Ham Fighters? The baseball team in Japan where Ohtani used to play, that's the team. That team recently built a new stadium, and the stadium is really impressive. The roof opens there as well, just like here, and natural light comes in from the sides. Actually, these days, when it comes to stadiums, you can't just look at the size of the stadium. What matters is how the stadium's F&B is fully integrated, and that's really important. Even when there aren't any games, people still come by, and looking out over the grass field, they feel like a beer. Those are the stadiums they're building now. The one I saw was similar, Fighters Field. But actually here too, check out the stadium's rear. I'm really curious about that. This is Boston Stadium. It has a capacity of 65,000 people. It's Gillette Stadium. Opened in 2002, it was designed by Populous, founded by former employees of AT&T, who went on to found an architectural firm that mainly focuses on stadiums, like Boston Stadium, as far as I know. It was remodeled in 2023. Among single-wall electronic displays, America's largest, this is something they're proud of. Since it's in a place called Foxborough, it's used by the New England Patriots as their home. From downtown Boston, it's over an hour's drive by car to get there, as far as I know. There's nothing around it. It's for watching football games, as far as I know. This place doesn't have a roof. It's located in Boston, but during these days, the main issue with these roofless stadiums is that they're not very versatile. Usually, when building a stadium for 50 or 60,000 people, you need to make it an indoor arena, so that when there are no games, it serves as a concert arena. Without a roof, construction costs were likely lower. Usage frequency drops. So I expect it will actually be less economical. That's usually the case when you build a stadium. After building a stadium, they add arena to it, right? Like Benz Arena or Gillette Stadium. When you add names like that, those multinational companies pay hundreds of millions of one a year. So when building a stadium like this, you must ensure the numbers add up. One of the ways to do that is, the very first thing you do is sell naming rights. Names change every few years. For example, Boston has the Fleet Center, while in LA, it's the Staples Center. Get sponsorship from companies, and with that, basically, they cover the maintenance costs. While working on CJ Live City, they were building an arena with a 50,000 seat capacity there too. And then as for that arena, if you attach a name like Kakao or Niva to it, they were expecting to make about 10 billion won a year. Since companies get advertising benefits, every time a sports game is held, they'll mention it. Will they not? Like saying it's happening at Gillette Stadium. That's why they do it. That's the reason behind it. Second, they make money is, if you ask where the worst seats are, the upper level seating is really poor. So on the third floor, they line up a bunch of VIP rooms in a stadium that holds about 50,000 people. They set up 100 VIP rooms. After making about 100 of them, they sell them to companies. In other words, they rent them out. They do it on a yearly season basis. For a whole year, that room is used exclusively by that corporation. There could be concerts held there, or there could be sports games, right? They pretty much use them for those events. Why do corporations buy them? They buy them and then give the tickets to their clients. So with that, they use it for marketing purposes. For example, if those 100 rooms are sold at 300 million won each, that's already 30 billion won. By doing it that way, they first earn the maintenance costs, and then they have to make up the rest as they go. Next, let's look at the Dallas Stadium. It's also called AT&T Stadium. It's located in Texas. It was designed by HKS and was completed in 2009. Since it's such a hot region, they covered it with a roof. The retractable roof is designed for opening and closing. At the time of completion, it was the largest dome structure in the world. The Dallas Cowboys are a famous American football team, so the stadium is mainly used as their home field. At the time of its completion, it also had the world's largest HD video display, which was measuring 49 meters wide and 22 meters tall, installed on both sides. As I mentioned before, for indoor stadiums like this, since they also serve as concert venues, they must hang screens weighing about 200 tons. That's why such massive screens are installed, making it an extra load, which makes things extremely hard. This is the current trend these days, creating windows on the sides to let in natural light. They open the roof, and these areas are like the broadcasting booths. Even when the roof is closed here, it's made transparent. Sunlight can come in. When the roof is closed, it doesn't feel dark, but rather it has a kind of soft, diffused light, letting light through. I think it's made of polycarbonate material, so it's designed so that sunlight falls directly down below. That's how they put it together. Next is the Houston Stadium. It's called NRG Stadium, and it's located in Houston, Texas, seats 72,000 and built in 2002. They built a highly transparent fabric roof. Even when the roof is closed, there's still a gentle natural light. In technical terms, it's called a membrane structure. The airport in Denver also has a membrane roof like that. It lets in natural light from above. For indoor tennis courts, for example, this material is common. So it's made with a membrane structure which allows sunlight to come in easily. Simply put, it's like a tent. But when can that be dangerous? In places where it snows a lot, it's a bit difficult to use as the membrane itself cannot withstand heavy loads. In places like Texas, where it hardly ever snows and there is not much rain, membrane structures like that are common. Seem to be used a lot in hot regions. This one also has a large truss and the roof slides to the side, so it's designed so that the roof opens up. I think it's about time we build something like this in Korea too, don't you think? Right? This is Kansas City Stadium. It was completed in 1972, and the remodeling was done once between 2007 and 2010. There's no roof here either. This is said to be the loudest stadium in the world, 142.2 decibels, breaking the Guinness World Record. To give you an idea of how loud that is, it's similar to the noise of a plane taking off. It's honestly unbelievable. The people here are they're incredibly proud of it. I didn't know this either, but Kansas City is actually kind of the center of sports. There are a lot of famous sports teams there. Since it's located in the Midwest, when they build stadiums, a lot of the offices in Kansas City are involved. It's home to the world's largest tailgate event. Tailgating, it's a culture of barbecuing in the parking lot. It's best known for its famous tailgating culture. Last time, I said this at the CJ Cup, remember? I've never actually gone to a stadium myself and experienced tailgating culture firsthand, but I have been to Memphis and participated in a barbecue festival there. BBQ experts proud of their craft take part in it. Everyone participates, pay entry, but what really made it worth visiting was seriously that an incredible number of people come to barbecue there. Most impressive was when you open the car hood, there's a barbecue grill inside. They even design and bring their own barbecue machines, starting from the machine itself. The reason this is so famous is because they barbecue whole pigs. They cook it for about 12 hours over a gentle heat. Out of everything I've ever eaten in my life, it was the most tender and delicious meat dish I've ever had. It literally melts in your mouth. Win first place, you go back to the city, display it proudly. You brag about winning an award at the BBQ contest. That restaurant gains prestige, much like getting a Michelin star. I think it's definitely worth visiting at least once. Next is the Los Angeles Stadium. It looks unique. Completed in 2020 as expected, its recent build makes it look like a UFO with a sleek shape. It was designed by HKS, and Samsung made the world's first oval-shaped double-sided infinity screen, which weighs 1,000 tons. This thing is hanging from above. 1,000 tons, that's truly unbelievable. But honestly, this is even more amazing is the roof structure looks really light. Housing 1,000 tons, that's the real tech. The roof structures that existed before, they were extraordinarily heavy, very heavy steel structures. But here it looks very light. That's incredible engineering, but it can't be opened or closed. ETFE. As mentioned, this polycarbonate panel creates a semi-transparent canopy, blending indoor and outdoor spaces. An open-air canopy structure. It seems like it would get really hot in the summer. Anyway, it's a cool design, very fitting for LA. As you go in, you'll see things like this. They've even added landscaping. Here it is from above. It is as if a magic carpet is descending from the sky just like that, forming that kind of shape. With no snow in LA, this is possible. The roofs sloped very gently, right? If this were Boston or somewhere similar, you couldn't do this kind of design. The snow would pile up a lot and it would probably collapse. Out of everything I've seen so far, this is my favorite. This design. Next up is the Miami Stadium. This is Hard Rock Stadium. It holds 65,000 people and opened in 1987. Most stadiums built before the year 2000 hardly have any roofs. This one originally had no roof, but they added a partial roof later on. Because of sudden downpours and direct sunlight, there is a roof, but it is only over the seats, not over the field. The heat energy from sunlight coming from above is really massive. When we install air conditioners for a space about this size, we usually say, this size air conditioner should be enough. If you make a small skylight there, it puts a huge load on the system, so preventing any light from coming in at all is the most effective solution. For example, creating a wind path can solve the summer heat, but it won't fix the winter cold, right? Then you have to close it again. If you make it open, basically, in my opinion, from an energy perspective, it's a big minus. But still, this time, since in the US, there are so many great American football stadiums, all the stadiums are really excellent. They're not hastily built stadiums. They're all stadiums that have been used for a long time, and they're still actively in use even now. In Qatar, all the stadiums were newly built, right? All of them. Next is the New York, New Jersey Stadium, which is MetLife Stadium. This one holds 82,000 people. It was completed in 2010, built in the 2000s. It doesn't have a roof. Hard to watch a game here. It's in direct sun. They'll probably have to hold games at night here. I think I've seen this while passing by. If you go along the New Jersey Turnpike, it was likely there. As for the New York, New Jersey Stadium, why did they choose it for the final? Right. New York has the largest population in the whole world, right? It's the easiest location for people to get to. It has the most flight routes. Being the world's wealthiest city, despite the high ticket prices, they'll all sell out. If held in Vancouver now, what happens? That makes no sense. The most accessible place for people. Next, the richest area. It belongs there. Post-opening ceremony, the closing ceremony is really the highlight. The closing ceremony is held there. People watch the opening ceremony on TV as it's between last year's winner and the host country. There's a whole build-up leading to it, and the final match at the very end is truly the highlight. In a way, during the Korea-Japan World Cup, had the final been held in Korea, wouldn't that have been better? That's what I think. Now this is the Philadelphia Stadium. It's called Lincoln Financial Field, and it holds 69,000 people. It was designed by MBBJ, finished in 2003. The Philadelphia Eagles inspired its eagle-themed design. The roof is said to be shaped like an eagle's wing. So let's take a look. It doesn't look like an eagle's wing at all. I think they just named it that way. These days, this stadium has become a huge part of the culture. So I think architecture has changed a lot in the meantime. The roof needs to be a dome. It must link to many commercial sites. Of Shinsegae's current projects, in Cheongna, there's the Landers Stadium, the baseball stadium. They're combining the stadium and Starfield into a single project. There's a hotel and a swimming pool. A water park is being added. It's all unifying, creating a complex like this. That's the current trend these days. Connecting with other facilities. For better synergy, set up like that, you'd spend 2 or 3 days and have lots of fun without leaving the complex. But according to those involved in the project, there are hotel rooms where you can actually see the stadium from your room. The issue is, if in that situation, Taylor Swift comes to perform, hotel guests could watch the concert for free and even see the stage being set up. So usually, when performers like that come, they had the hotel close all the windows and draw the curtains tight for security reasons. But closing it all off like that, then people won't want to stay there, right? That side has the best view, so they worry about things like that. To fix this, lower something while prepping for the concert. Let people see, then raise it back up, and you'd have to do things like that. Or as a set, rent out the entire hotel to the performers, sell it to them, potentially the best solution. A hotel room where you can watch the Taylor Swift concert for specific dates, even if you sell it at 5 to 10 times the price. Since the ticket price is included, you could do it that way. It's really complicated, isn't it? Next up is the San Francisco Bay Area Stadium. It's called Levi Stadium. One of its unique features is the organic rooftop garden. That's so typical of San Francisco. There's a facility on the roof where they grow organic vegetables, right up there. Now, there is something I really wish would change in Korea, something I hope we can improve, whether it is mokdong or jamsil. Watching a game, you often get snacks during the game, but where are the stands? Found mostly with the stadium seats lined up like this, and in the space under the seats, that's where those shops are set up. So when you go to buy something, you end up missing important moments of the game. But if you look at recently built stadiums, when there are seats, some stadiums have a concourse at the very top of the seating area, and there are restaurants behind that concourse. So if I buy a hot dog there, or something like that, if I hear cheering, I'll run over and still catch the game. So the whole layout is already designed differently. And honestly, what really impressed me was this one thing. In any stadium, you'll use the restroom. Once there, when we enter, sinks by the entry. Afterwards, we wash our hands, right? But when I went in, there was no place to wash up. After using the urinal, scanned, the sinks were distant. When I looked, it was set up to be one way. The flow was designed to go in a single direction. Go in, use it, then wash your hands. And then you exit. You can't go back the way you came, wondering why they did it so. Once washed and out, the path leads you. The food court's there. It's ready to eat now, perfectly set. Everything is quite meticulously planned out. Next is the Seattle Stadium. Its arch structure pulls the roof from both sides. This stadium's noise level only trails Kansas City's. It's number 2, 137 decibels. The stadium faces this direction, long and rectangular. Usually up until now, looking at the Nippon Ham Fighters Stadium I saw, shaped like a square with a roof of trusses, was designed to slide off to one side. It slides open, tracks on both sides. With this stadium, the roof splits open. It's distinctive because, in this rectangle, longer trusses are harder to build than short ones. It's more difficult to construct because of the length. The arch runs lengthwise along the stadium. The arch spans the long side. It's an incredibly long span. What makes it look so spectacular is that the open roof is the canopy roof for main seating areas on sides, serving as a canopy for those seats. But then the seats on either side don't really have a great view. But from there, the sky is completely open above you. Openness feels much greater, dramatically amplified. See it here. This is truly of what I've seen so far. I think this is the most difficult structure to build. Next, Mexico. Guadalajara, Monterrey, Mexico City. First, the Mexico City Stadium. It was completed in 1966. This place is also famous for that. It's located at such a high altitude that for athletes, it must be incredibly difficult to play here. That's what this place is like. As far as I remember, there was a World Cup held in Mexico. Was it in 1986? I remember staying up all night to watch the matches. I think the opening ceremony was held there at that time. The 2026 FIFA World Cup, the opening match will be held here. This stadium is said to be the only one to have hosted the World Cup 3 times. Both Pelé and Maradona won here. All of that happened here. I watched the World Cup where Maradona famously led his team to victory. That's the first World Cup I remember, because our country had always failed to qualify for the World Cup, but it was during the Mexico World Cup that we made it to the finals for the first time. Of course, excluding when we went in the 50s. Back then, the World Cup matches, I'd wake up at dawn to watch. Around that time, satellite broadcasts were becoming really more common, so I remember watching it on a color TV. The number of seats seems absolutely enormous. 83,000 people, similar to the capacity of Jamsil Main Stadium. So that's how many people can fit in there. Next on our list is Estadio Guadalajara, completed in 2010. Guadalajara is known as Mexico's second largest city. This stadium looks amazing, and the design is truly top tier. It's inspired by a volcano, and the stadium walls are all made like hills. Earth covers them, and you go through that into a tunnel. Enter the stadium now. Wow, this is really cool. Who designed this? It was done by Populous. This is incredibly dramatic. The roof is just like a cloud floating in the air. That's how it looks. It is simple, a very impactful stadium. If I were to build a stadium, I think I would have wanted to make it like this. That's the feeling I get. With a mountain stretching out, the back of the stadium can be completely closed anyway. Just block it off and make only the roof stand out. Wow, 2 of Korea's matches for Czechia versus Korea, Mexico versus Korea. Wow, those are going to be worth watching. And next up on our list is the Estadio Monterrey Stadium, where South Africa and Korea will be playing their match. Inspired by the city's industrial past, it features a tripod structure. It has metal and aluminum framing. Metal aluminum frame mounted through opening looks amazing. That mountain behind is truly impressive. They dropped southern roof to show the mountain in the design. It's worth it. Wind flows through the metal facade, providing ventilation and cooling the space. That's how it's designed. So the wind passes through those gaps, allowing the hot air to be expelled outside. It seems that's the kind of structure it has. This is also really cool. Next is Canada. It's held in Toronto and Vancouver. Next, Toronto's BMO Field holds 45,000, similar to an English second division stadium. I'm looking at a soccer stadium here. There's a roof, and suddenly, it's like a national sports festival site. No World Cup vibe at all. Watching hockey here is cool in an outdoor stadium. Playing ice hockey is something I've never seen before. But since it's Canada, they can do it here. After seeing all the previous ones, looking at this, it feels so modest. Next is the last one, right? BC Place, Vancouver. It has a capacity of 54,000 people. It once had an air-supported dome roof, but after a 2007 collapse, it was replaced by a cable-supported retractable roof. The old roof was kind of like a tube, right? They would inject air into it, making it into a structure. And things like this, as far as I know, they increase the air pressure inside the stadium so that the roof gradually lifts upward. The Tokyo Dome is also built like that too. And when they build indoor tennis stadiums, that is a common method, but if the pressure control doesn't work properly or something goes wrong, the structure collapses, and if it hits a certain point, pops, which can cause such issues. So to be safe, they chose a cable-supported structure. They likely use a cable-supported structure to hang that electronic scoreboard. Regarding the dome we mentioned earlier, build separate truss to hang up a scoreboard like that. Look at the center part here, folds up completely, and all the fabric goes right into the round hole in the center. Then, only when needed to cover the roof, it spreads out to cover the area. That's its structure. That roof membrane structure is beautiful. It's a structure solved in a precise geometric way, so just looking at the roof, I think it's the most beautiful structure. Qatar World Cup Stadium episode, comments related to the stadium. The Roman Colosseum, even after 2,000 years. But stadiums such as Sangam World Cup Stadium, the Qatar World Cup Stadium, will all wow later. Will people still be amazed? Personally, I doubt they're at that level. Think about the same era, everyone. When the Colosseum was built, was there anything like it anywhere else in the world? There wasn't, right? From the Qatar World Cup Stadium to the Sangam World Cup Stadium, these venues are now everywhere. And structurally, they're not even that revolutionary or impressive. With just this, it won't go down in history as a remembered architectural wonder. It truly needs to be much more moving than this. To do so, that needs a structural shift. The Colosseum took 8 years. Even building something that could hold so many people in such a short time was actually very innovative. It was possible because they used concrete and bricks. That's what made it possible. If there is that kind of structural innovation and innovation in the way things are made, for example, if we use 3D printers to seat 80,000 in just 1 month, if such a unique building were constructed, it's a historic landmark. But in this era, SpaceX rockets standing over 100 meters tall are why people go, oh. Stadium design is not really special. Roman Colosseum or today's soccer stadiums, the basic concept for spectators is all the same. That's right, they're identical. Human behavior, as noted, whether it's the steps of the Ziggurat temple built in 3500 BC or the steps today, or the steps we use today, our bodies haven't changed. So when it comes to architectural elements, the basic design hasn't changed much, but what has altered quite significantly is the materials we use to build them. The size of a soccer field is fixed, and basketball courts are too. So when designing a stadium, the way to create differentiation in this day and age, the trend is that most get sliding roofs. So the first thing is how the roof will open and close. That's the first point. The second is creating an organic connection with other facilities. Synergy with other facilities. For example, the Shinsegae Stadium being built in Cheongna, as mentioned, at Shinsegae Stadium, they're combining a hotel with the stadium, like adding a mall to the stadium. Similarly, for the Nipponham Fighters Stadium, the food court of the shopping mall is doing great, smoothly linked to the stadium. What I felt when I went there was, if stadium has artificial turf, natural grass makes a big difference. If you go natural, it needs sunlight, so the grass doesn't die. So the grass field underneath slides out to the side, goes outside to get sunlight and grow. Sometimes the grass only comes in for the games. In Real Madrid's stadium, the field is sectioned, retracts below, and grows under LED lights, then come back up. Similar facilities exist too. Just like that, whether it's natural grass or artificial turf is a major factor. Sapporo Stadium had natural grass, but with artificial turf, it just doesn't have that same feeling. But with natural grass, once you step inside, the lawn is really spread out so magnificently, it almost feels like Central Park. Just having that lawn alone, you can sit around it and eat a hot dog. That kind of scene unfolds. These days, people are trying to incorporate nature, as seen in places like Hyundai Department Store. Yoido's Hyundai Department Store, for instance, filled their central space with plants. But in baseball or soccer stadiums, if the lawn is natural grass indoors, then just that alone can give the shopping mall a huge advantage. It's an attraction itself. Nature is what e-shops miss, making it even more appealing. For instance, if we were looking to remodel the Sangamdong area, let's make the roof retractable and lay down natural grass on the field. If we remodel the stadium seats well, people can shop while looking out over the grass field. That way, it could become an even better stadium. If we take this opportunity to remodel Jamsil, I think doing it in that way would be a good idea. Whether a stadium lasts, the most important thing is choosing the right location. It is not just for games, it's also for concerts and other events, so it needs to serve multiple purposes. That's why accessibility is crucial. You can visit the O2 Arena in London. Richard Rodgers built a dome, which is an arena. The reason it succeeds is because the subway goes all the way there. Ordinary people can take the subway, watch a performance, and then head home. A failing stadium came back to life after a remodel like that. Originally, it just had a roof, was a completely useless exhibition hall. But they remodeled it, set in stadium. As a concert hall, it must be in a location with easy access. That's essential. Link it to nearby programs for synergy. Effective connections are key, plus a wow effect. And the best thing for that is nature. Next is a retractable roof. Those kinds of things could work. So I think the best stadium is the one mentioned, which was inspired by a real volcano in Mexico, the Guadalajara Stadium. That one left the biggest impression on me. Enjoy watching the World Cup matches, and I hope you have a great time. I'll end my talk here.